Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. She's not like one of the award-winning caliber type actresses, but I'll give it a shot. Maybe this is the role that will win people over.
And the guy like turns to me, he's like, "Oh, excuse me, my apologies." He's like totally polite. And I got the service because I was in the VIP line.
I bet you felt great.
I felt like $1 million. He's a divisive character. He's a heel.
He's a
That's
heel, and he fit this movie perfectly, right? I mean, what was your opinion? I thought he did a fantastic job in
I
one of
thought
his
he did,
first
I
acting
thought he did a
roles.
great job. Yeah, it was a very good performance by him. Welcome to Hate to See It with Mike and Sid, the weekly talk show where we bring you a new movie review each week. I'm Mike, here with my co-host Sid. Sid, since our last episode, we celebrated your birthday. We
It was
celebrated Christmas.
we
What?
celebrate a lot. We
eh,
celebrate. Go
yeah,
ahead.
sorry, I had a whole spiel that I was going to go through.
Damn, I apologize. Let's hear it.
No worries. And when this episode posts, it is going to be New Year's Eve. So there's a lot going on. People are busy. We appreciate all of you tuning in during this busy time. With all that said, Sid, how you doing?
Beautifully said, Mike. I'm sorry I keep interrupting you, but you put in the work. I'm doing great. As you mentioned, it was my birthday. I celebrated my 424th birthday. As you know, I was born in 1601. I'm a vampire, and I've seen a lot.
Well, you might have a lot in common with a character in a movie that we're going to be discussing.
I sure do.
Well, I had a good week too. Spent some time with my family. Had a great time. Went to the movies. Had a great time.
Yeah,
And
I should have asked you, how was your week?
and no, my week was great. Spent Christmas Eve at my parents', Christmas Day at my sister's. Just really nice catching up, enjoying great food, great drinks, great company, some football. As we are recording this episode, I am watching my dreams of becoming fantasy football champion slip away as Christian McCaffrey just stomps his cleats on my neck and just ruins my ambitions of being the champion.
Well,
Unfortunately,
it's never over till it's over.
it's never over till it's over. I still got Puka going tomorrow night, so you never know.
All right, well, let's change the subject. No more fantasy football talk.
This is not a fantasy football talk show.
No, unless you want to rebrand.
No, well, we used to talk about all sorts of stuff,
I
but
know we did.
we're strictly movies now.
Yes, we are.
So, all right, Sid. So why don't we kick it off with our snacks segment? There's one thing notable that happened to me in that regard that relates to snacks. Anything you want to mention with regard to your snacks?
Sure. So I try not to get any snacks this time. I got a drink because I was with my family, and I didn't want to disappoint my mother because I think she does not like it when I overindulge. But it was interesting because there's a long line, and they saw me go to a line that there was no line. Like I caught everyone. They're like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm an A-lister. I get to cut the line." So that was cool, showing my family my benefits that I have through AMC A-list. So I cut the line, got my drink, and that's all she wrote.
Well, so the story I was going to tell is very similar to your story. And actually, a few weeks ago, I intended to tell the story. I'm pretty sure I forgot to tell it about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than a year ago, before I signed up for AMC premiere. I was at an AMC for a movie and got in line to get some concessions. And I get up to the front of the line. There's like the line for normal people. There's the line for A-listers, Stubbs Premiere, right next to me. And then you all get up to the front, and you're like you're parallel with the A-listers. And then there's
Yep.
like there's three people behind the counter, and they kind of just call you up. You make eye contact with the person, and you go to the person that you make eye contact with. So I made eye contact with the person. I step up, and there's this guy next to me, and he's like, "Hey, I'm an A-lister." and he steps in front of me. Like it was even ruder than that. I forget exactly what he said.
Wow.
He said like this line is for A-listers only or something like that. It was crazy. It was like I stepped back. I was like, whoa, you go ahead, buddy. It was like there are certain things that are worth getting in fights over. There are certain things that are not worth getting in fights over. Getting in a fight at a movie theater about who goes first to get a bucket of popcorn, that is definitely not a fight that I would ever get in. Unless maybe it's like, I don't know, Star Wars Episode 10, it's like the midnight premiere and I'm about to miss the beginning. Maybe I would fight the guy, but not this time.
So let me get this straight. Which line were you on?
I was in the regular line
Okay,
and
so I got it. I got you.
I crossed I think I crossed in front of him, but it was like there were three people behind the counter and it was like once you got up to the front,
Yeah.
they were just taking whoever was next, and I made eye contact with the person, so I don't think I did anything wrong. But
No.
the guy was pissed off. But in any event, the other day when I was at the movies, sort of the opposite thing happened because I'm a Stubbs Premier member now. I get in the VIP line, and it's not like there was a long line, but there were like a few people in the normal line, and I go right up to the front, and this person behind the counter finishes the customer in front of me and locks eyes with me, and I walk right up and I cross in front of this other person. And the other person, the other person didn't do anything wrong, but they were not paying attention, and they start to walk up as well at the same time as me, and then they realize, oh, I'm the one. I think the person said like, no, it's this guy that's next, and the guy like turns to me, he's like, oh, excuse me, my apologies. He's like totally polite, and I got the service because I was in the VIP line.
I bet you felt great.
I felt like $1 million.
I've been in a situation before. Sometimes I'll let the people go ahead of me, even though I'm the A-lister. So,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, I'm sure they've been waiting a lot longer than I have. So I'll try to like decide who I should let go. But I'm glad to hear about your different experiences.
Yeah, so that was nice. And as far as snacks goes, I did get a bucket of popcorn, which was nice to share. And you mentioned last week, I think, the large
It's
bucket.
huge.
It's huge, but I had people to share it with, so that was nice.
Nice.
And I
Good.
also brought some stocking candy with me, some Kit Kat bars and Reese's cups. So it was nice.
Speaking of Kit Kats, so I don't know about your theater, but in mine, I love Kit Kats. It's a great snack to have. Like, who doesn't like a
Phenomenal.
Kit Kat, right?
Well, I think some people don't like Kit Kats. I feel like there's someone in our friend group who doesn't
It
like
might be Dirk.
Kit Kats. Shout out, drop it in the comments if you're the person we're talking
It's
about.
bizarre. I
It's
don't know how you don't
bizarre.
like it. I mean,
It,
it's a phenomenal snack. But what I'm trying to say is I can't get it in my theater because it's in a bag and they're individually wrapped. Like
oh,
I don't want to go unwrap them. Like that's such a hassle. Like I just want easy access to my Kit Kats.
yeah,
They used to have like Kit Kat bites back in the day and Reese's bites. Like those
yes.
were the go-to snacks.
This might be a hot take. Sorry to cut you off.
No worries.
Uh,
I got you a full time.
as far as the Reese's cups go, I love Reese's basically. Reese's, it's a goated candy.
Of course.
But as far as the shapes go, the miniature bites, I think, are superior to the OG. Because I'm actually one of these people, I like the outer shell
Mm,
of the candy. There's a nice crunch to it.
yep.
And I feel like the ratio of the shell to the middle is more to my liking with the miniature
But
version.
I could see that. But do you remember the bites?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yes.
Those are phenomenal. Like my friend and I had to sneak them from Canada after they stopped selling them. I don't know what happened.
Have you ever had the Japanese Kit Kats?
I was actually talking about that with someone last week. The matcha Kit Kats from Japan. They're apparently
Yeah,
a big hit.
a few years ago, this is actually right before COVID. I was in an office and for the holidays, someone had brought in, they were visiting Japan, they brought in all these Kit Kats. So the flavors, some of them are really cool.
Yeah, no, they have a lot of different flavors.
All
All right.
right, Sid,
Spent a lot of
I,
time on snacks.
how about trailers? You want to get to our trailer segment?
So I was watching with my family. I think you were as well. So it's always interesting to watch trailers with your family to see what they like, what they won't like. One thing that they were kind of annoyed with, but I'm used to this, is like, as you know, they show trailers for stuff that's happening like several months later, right?
Hmm.
And they're like, wow, what the hell? Like, why are they advertising something that's happening like a year later? But
Right.
that's just how the industry is. So it was kind of interesting to see them getting annoyed with that or like making comments about that. But Grogu, the Mandalorian, was one that I could tell, even though my family's not a huge Star Wars fans, I thought they thought Grogu was cute.
Yeah, we've talked about this. There are some people who think that Mandalorian and Grogu, like, it's not going to be a box office bomb. It's people are going to go see it. It's going to make
Of
money.
course,
The question is it going to be a
Star Wars
phenom?
level.
Is it going to be Star Wars level? Is it going to be $1 billion movie? I think Grogu is just such a likable character. I
Yep.
mean, Grogu, when The Mandalorian first came out, the
People are in
child,
love.
Baby Yoda, it was viral. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
been time. It's been a few years since Mandalorian season three. I don't know what's going to happen with it. I think there's a chance that this could be a big hit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't want to go too much into trailers, but anything stand out for you?
The one thing I just wanted to briefly mention, because all the trailers I saw, I had already seen before. One, I texted you. We got the 28 years later trailer, and
Yep.
my mom said this looks awful, which I told you she was going to say that. No surprise there. And then we got this new trailer for a movie I don't think I had seen the trailer before with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson called
Oh
The
yes.
Drama. They're
Yep.
like an engaged couple and something goes wrong right before they get married. It's an A24 movie. I don't know anything about it. I don't know who the director is. But I don't know. It looks kind of interesting. The cast is notable.
Yeah, notable cast for sure.
You have anything to say about that? I think it comes out in April.
No, it might be a film I check out just because of A-list. I'm just curious to see what's causing all the issues in the movie.
I don't know if this is a hot take. It probably is a hot take. I think Zendaya is overrated. Like, I don't think she's a bad actress. She's fine, right? I think she's a good actress, but I just think the hype behind her is not justified. I've not seen a Zendaya performance that justifies the hype.
Challengers, I don't think you've seen.
No, I started watching Challengers and I watched maybe the first third of it, maybe
You like
first half.
tennis.
Well, I do like tennis, and I never got back to it because it just started getting too weird. I was like,
Mm.
nah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you. She's not like one of the award-winning caliber type actresses, but I'll give it a shot. Maybe this is the role that will win people over. We'll see.
Yeah, and I like Pattinson, so we'll see.
And then there was that Tom Cruise movie, which I don't know if you saw that trailer as well. It's with the guy who directed Birdman, famous director.
Yeah, the director of The Revenant
Yes,
and Birdman.
exactly. Yep. But
He's a Mexican director.
correct. But he's gonna.
Alejandro Inarritu, I believe his name is.
You're right. I don't know if the pronunciation's
I
correct,
might
but
have gotten the pronunciation wrong.
you're correct. But yeah, did you see that?
I saw the trailer online. I didn't see it at the theater.
Yeah, they don't reveal what much, but that's a good combo to have with that director, and then also Tom Cruise is fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to learning more about that film.
So Sid, you did remind me. I'll be brief, but one more thing I wanted to say about trailers is when we got to the Nicole Kidman segment,
Mhm.
I looked at my watch. It was 22 minutes after the advertised start time. By
Oh wow.
far, by far the earliest start time, by far the closest gap between start time and advertised start times eh, all year for me. Like
Mm.
it's been a half hour reliably, sometimes more than a half hour. So we didn't get as many trailers in my theater this week.
Christmas Miracle.
And they didn't show that AMC commercial for like soda. There's a guy driving in a
Yeah, no,
car.
I know.
So I had heard back in the summer, there was a story about the AMC CEO where he said, "Look, I've heard your complaints, and we have a few things we can do to make it shorter." And it never happened.
Mm.
So I'm wondering if it finally happened, or was this just a weird one-off? I guess we'll see.
We'll see. Stay tuned to
We'll
next
be
week.
monitoring it. We will let you know. I gotta say, 22 minutes um, is much
Manageable.
more manageable. Thank you for that. Than a half hour.
But this could also backfire because now people are getting used to the 30 minutes. So people are coming in later. So if they
Yeah,
shorten it and they're not used to it, they might be late. So we'll see.
Absolutely. So some people might be pissed about that.
So I quoted the movie that we're discussing today, reviewing today, but what movie are we talking about? Well, actually, it's not a surprise. Well, I guess it'll be a surprise for people who didn't see last week's episode.
Yeah.
Uh, but Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme, we mentioned it last week, and I saw it, you saw it. I don't think I realized who the director was. I don't think I even knew it until maybe the day that I saw the movie. I obviously knew it was about Timothy Chalamet. I feel like all the hype behind the movie was Timothy Chalamet. This is a great Timothy Chalamet movie. Uh,
So you didn't know
and
it was a Safdie brother.
I didn't know it was, and I don't even, honestly, I don't even know this Safdie brother. I know the other Safdie brother, the one who's been
Yeah,
in
the other
movie,
one, yes. Is it Benny?
Benny.
What's his name? Yes. So he's the one that's more camera forward.
And
Is that
he
the word I'm
also
looking?
did, yeah, yeah. He's in front of the camera, and Josh
Yes.
is Josh the director,
Yes.
and he's behind the camera. Although they're both behind the camera, they've
They are.
directed stuff. Benny directed The Smashing Machine.
Yep. So they both had not big hits, but they both had movies that come out this year.
Yeah,
Generally, they've been together. Most of their movies have been a joint production, but this, I think, it was the first time they split up. With one doing the Smashing Machine, like you mentioned, and then one doing Marty Supreme.
and there was that TV show with Emma Stone.
Oh
Uh,
yes, yes, you're right.
was that Benny?
Yeah, it was Benny. So yeah, like I was saying, Benny like also does acting. He was in
Right.
the number one most viewed Netflix movie. What's it called? The golf movie, Happy Gilmore 2. He was the
Yes, he
villain.
was. And honestly, he was. I didn't think he was necessarily bad, but his part of the movie was the worst part of the movie.
Agreed. He was a little over the top.
He was in charge of this alternate golf league, and which it dominated the second half of the movie.
It
And
was
for
like the
me, just
live.
it was way worse than Live. But
No, but that's what they're trying to say. It was supposed to be like the live,
yes, yes,
but
and
worse.
it derailed the movie for me.
Okay,
But
but
we're
let's not
not
talk
reviewing
about it.
that. We're not reviewing Happy
Exactly.
Gilmore 2.
We're
So
not.
we're reviewing Marty Supreme. Uh, Tell me about this movie, Sid.
So it's about someone who's inspiring to become a champion in ping pong, right? His family, his history has been a lot of bad luck, but he's very determined. He wants to win. He wants to take care of his mother. He wants to be someone that people can count on, and he's got a drive and ambition to succeed. Sometimes for the worst, sometimes for the best. But really, the premise behind it is him trying to become a champion and not succeeding at one time, spoiler, but then trying to compete a second time at the world tournament. That's like the real main story behind the movie, right? He's trying to win it all.
Right. So just for some background, I was trying to figure out exactly when the movie was set. I was basically able to figure it out. It's in the early 1950s,
Yep.
post World War II. He comes from
New York.
New York City. He comes from a Jewish family. All of that is relevant, important to the setting of the film. And the movie starts out with Marty. He works for his uncle at a shoe store,
Yep.
and he's a very personable guy. You could tell he would be someone who'd be a natural salesman, and
Yes.
he is a good salesman at this shoe store, but that's not what he aspires to be.
No.
And um he's going to get paid by his uncle and go fly over to the UK to London and participate in the British Open of ping pong.
Yes.
And in order to get there, uh, he he doesn't meet up with his uncle. There's something going. His uncle has to go help his mom. His uncle isn't there to pay him.
But it seems like the uncle trying to sabotage him as well.
That could have been the case. Was there something that actually makes you think that? Because I wasn't sure. Do you think he was trying to sabotage him?
I think so. I think he was minimizing what this guy can do with ping pong. He didn't believe in Marty, and he really wanted to give Marty the opportunity to succeed at this shoe manager position.
Right. He had just promoted him to manager. So that's a good point. You're probably right there. He had an ulterior motive
He did.
to prevent him from succeeding at ping pong. So Marty this is where you first start to learn about what kind of person Marty is. He commits an armed robbery to get his money. He robs his uncle's store. He holds up a gun to an employee
Is it spoilers? I guess it is.
at the store. This is in the first 10 minutes of the movie. That's a good point. We will be conscious of spoilers. Thank you for that, Sid.
One strike for me, one strike for you.
Yeah, but this is within the first,
Yeah.
15 minutes of the movie.
Yep.
So, yeah, and it's kind of a wink wink armed robbery. He makes it pretty clear, I'm not going to shoot you. Just look, tell my uncle I held a gun to you and you gave me the money so I can
Because
go.
he needed that. Yeah, he needed that money to fly.
And plus, the uncle owed him the money anyway.
Correct.
This is for work that he already did. But this is your first glimpse into Marty Mauser, who that's his real name.
And
And
like you said, your first glance is really showing you what this guy would do to get what he needs to succeed.
exactly, and that's really what the whole movie's about.
Yep.
So he gets to London, and like you said, and this is again not really a spoiler because this is the whole premise of the movie. Uh, he gets to the finals, but he doesn't win.
No, he loses to a Japanese player, and there was a lot of talk before the tournament started because, like you said, this was after the war, and then most people didn't think the Japanese could travel to go to places like the UK. So it was a surprise to a lot of people that this competitor was competing.
Right.
But Marty was very cocky. He thought he was going to still win. He dominated the most of the tournament, and so did the other opponent. I think his name was Endo. I think it was,
Endo, yeah,
yeah, Endo.
who is apparently a real ping pong player.
Oh, really?
He's not an
Interesting.
actor. Yeah.
Wow.
I
So
thought he did a good job. He doesn't really have any dialogue because he doesn't speak English, but I thought the performance was very good.
oh yeah, no, and he gets Marty gets dominated. I mean, he gets dominated. He
Yeah.
loses. He's pissed off. He shows off a lot of his attitude and anger.
Yeah, so Endo, he has this unusual grip with his paddle, and which is clearly throwing Marty off.
Yep.
He's hitting the ball unlike any other opponent that he's ever had. The first two games, Marty gets utterly dominated. But then by the third game, it's actually pretty close. So you could tell
Yeah.
that, oh, Marty's starting to
He's
figure it
learning.
out. He's starting to figure it out.
And what's funny is, so I think both of us we love playing ping pong.
I
Or we
love
used
ping
to.
pong. It's a great game. Yeah.
It is a great game. So that's why I was really pumped about this movie. So my summer pool club back in the day, I used to always dominate the other people at ping pong. And then there was this guy, and I was pretty young, but there's this guy who dominated me because he was using that serving technique.
Oh.
He was holding the racket.
It's like an
that.
underhand
Yes,
serve, right?
exactly. And that was the first time I saw it, and it really threw me off. And after time, I got used to it, but I kind of felt like Marty Supreme.
You could kind of tell like the ball when you receive this for to return the serve, the ball doesn't bounce as high. So
Correct.
he kept on hitting it into the net.
Yep.
So and I texted you uh after I saw the movie, which usually we don't do. And I have not told you how I feel about this movie. I just
No,
want to be 100% clear, but I did text you that this movie was not what I expected.
you did. So talk about that.
I thought this movie was just going to be a sports movie, traditional sports movie about an underdog, overcoming challenges and becoming a champion. Like
Yeah.
most.
Sorry, Rob, but yeah, you were mentioning the trailer was kind of like, I don't know if you said this was deceiving or it didn't paint the picture of what this movie really was about.
I agree. Yeah.
But that's what you said. I'm not saying that.
So yes, that is what I said. I rewatched the trailer, and I still maintain that. However, rewatching the trailer after seeing the movie, I can sort of see they're planting the seeds.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, like he's running away. I don't know if you see the cops, but he's running away. He gets in a fight with someone else. He's doing what looks like some shady underground gambling for money. So it was definitely, I mean, and I get it from your point of view, but there was definitely seeds planted that this was not going to be your standard sports movie.
there are. This is a subversive movie. I would even go so far to say this is not a sports movie at all. There's sports at the beginning of the movie. There's sports at the end of the movie. There's a few sequences in the middle of the movie where there's sports. Most of the movie is not sports.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. But the ping pong scenes were really well done. I'll give
Oh,
them
they're
that.
excellent. I was actually wondering how they did the ping pong scenes. My theory was that they just choreographed the scenes, right? You have Endo, you have Marty moving around, swinging their paddles, and there's no ball at all. And then they could just add the ball with
Mm.
CGI. That's apparently not how they did it. Apparently, Timothy Chalamet did a whole shit ton of
He
training.
did.
That's
He,
incredible.
yeah, I was watching an interview. I forget when he said, but he's been practicing like I feel like 4 or 5 years for this role,
Yeah. He
even during COVID, I believe. So it's been a while.
he is incredible in this movie.
He is. I mean, fantastic. Come end of the year, I think he's probably one of the favorites to win Best Actor potentially. Right? I mean,
I'm rooting for him. I
he's
was
definitely
rooting
getting
for him last
nominated.
year in the Bob Dylan movie. I thought he deserved to win it last year.
Yeah, so he's definitely one of the front runners.
So what I would say, I said this movie's not really a sports movie. You know what I would actually consider this movie to be?
What's
I would
that?
consider this movie to be in the same genre as like The Social Network
Okay, I could see that.
or Jobs or even The Wolf of Wall Street.
Hmm.
This is a movie about a incredibly ambitious person to a fault, right?
Yes,
Ambition is a good thing. Marty takes it way too far.
he
We
does.
we never really see what his limit is. He is willing to commit crimes. He is willing to do unethical things. He is willing to completely
Steal.
steal. He is willing to completely embarrass himself
Oh yeah, for sure.
to get what he wants. And that reminds me of like tech moguls like Mark Zuckerberg, like Steve Jobs, like Bill Gates, and like Leonardo DiCaprio's character in The Wolf of Wall Street. These are similar characters. They're not athletes, they don't play sports, but the motivation, the drive, and what they're willing to do to accomplish their goal, very much the same.
Yeah, so for me, I was expecting this because I'm very familiar with the Safdie brothers. Some people on the internet refer to this as like the Hustler trilogy. Good Times being the first movie, the second one being Uncut Gems, which I also saw during Christmas, and now this one. I think all three movies take place in New York. All three movies have a main character that's not your traditional good character. That's very flawed. It's kind of like a Breaking Bad, Walter White type of character. They'll, like you said, will go through as many lengths as possible to succeed. So that I was expecting that. So to me, it wasn't a surprise. So that's why we were arguing a little bit via text. But I can see from your perspective how you weren't expecting this. So it was definitely, I imagine, it was definitely a thrill ride for you to experience this movie.
Well, that's exactly what the movie is. It's a thrill ride. The movie is one insane scene after another. It's like one crazy thing happens, and you think that's it, and then something else tops it in the next scene, and
It was nonstop.
it's nonstop. Basically, what the plot of the movie is, what the thrust of the movie is he needs to get his rematch against Endo in the next tournament in Japan. Problem is at the end of the first tournament, he throws a temper tantrum. He's a total asshole.
Yep.
He's a douchebag.
Yes, he
That's what
is.
Marty Supreme is. So he gets fined. He gets fined $1,500. So he
Well, he
has
steals basically, right? He steals the. I don't know how he got there, but didn't he go to the better hotel, right? He stayed in the suite, like the master suite. I forget how he got there, but he couldn't afford it, and then he was eating all the food from the hotel.
yeah, he steals a lot.
Yeah,
He's not a very ethical person.
no, he's not.
So he needs to pay off this fine in order to get to the tournament in Japan. Plus, he needs to find a way to get a flight there. He's
Yep,
broke. He doesn't have any money. So the whole movie is how is he going to get his money to be able to get this rematch with Endo? And what's so crazy, what's so frustrating is there are so many times in the movie where he actually has success in the palm of his
briefly.
hands and it's just taken away.
Yeah,
right?
he's about to win the point, right? He's about to win the point, and then he's cocky, and then he hits it out of bounds.
Right. Well, I'm not even just talking about that. I'm talking
No, no,
about
no. But that's what I'm saying. I was trying to make
yeah.
a
Yeah, an
connection between
analogy.
thought.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
yes. And some of it is like just an unfortunate event that happens. Some of it is his own ego that gets in the
oh
way,
yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the big points of the movie, right? Like sometimes you got to let your ego go.
right?
And
And particularly that comes into play with Gwyneth Paltrow's character, who I thought she is one of my favorite roles that I've seen her play. She is an actress. She plays an actress from the 30s, and this is the 50s by now. She's a retired actress, and when he is introduced to her, he doesn't know who she is. He doesn't give a shit about her. But when he finds out she's an actress, now he needs to be with her. That's the
yep,
only thing he cares. That's all it was.
he always wants to win,
He
and he'll
always,
do whatever it takes to win.
yeah,
Marty
and
Supreme.
and oh, I lost my train of thought.
So, yeah, I don't want to go too much into it, but basically, like that kind of set the motion of what this guy will do. Because in the beginning of the movie, he's trying like not completely beginning, but he's trying to sleep with her, right? And then he
Yeah,
goes through so much to actually make it happen. He's so persistent. Some of it's like a little cartoony, the things he does to make it happen. But so I'm glad you brought her up. Her husband in the movie is Mr. Wonderful. I think it's Mr. Wonderful, right? It's the guy from Shark Tank.
yeah, Kevin O'Leary, which is a show I've watched for a long time. I'm a fan of Mr. Wonderful. He's a divisive character. He's a heel. That
He's a
that's
heel, and he fit this movie perfectly, right? I mean, what was your opinion? I thought he did a
I,
fantastic job in
I
one of
thought
his
he
first
I
acting
thought he did a
roles.
great job. Yeah, it was a very good performance by him. And
I,
you quoted something that he said at the beginning
I
of our
did.
episode. So with that said, why don't we get into our spoilers section?
Sure. Let's do
So
it.
uh Mr. Wonderful is he plays Gwyneth Paltrow's husband, and he's a businessman. I guess he's made his fortune in pens.
And pens, correct. Yep. So I think they're visiting or not visiting. They're on vacation, I think, right? In the UK.
Hmm.
When Marty sees her at the hotel. But basically, eventually he invites them to come watch him play. And then
Yeah,
after that, he goes to lunch in Paris with this character because this guy he gives him an idea. He gives Mr. Wonderful an idea on a business proposal, basically saying like, listen, we should go to Japan. You can sponsor me, but we should use the angle of getting your pens. Maybe you should talk about it, but basically, he's trying to angle the guy's job.
right. So Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, he plays this character. I think his name is Rockwell.
Yes, it is Rockwell.
He's in the pen business. He has this idea where there's this Japanese tournament, which is like the next major like Grand
Yep.
Slam event. The week before, he wants to put on an exhibition match where Marty has a rematch with Endo, and Marty's going to lose. So, they'll have, the Japanese audience will love it. And, it's going to help him sell his pens because he's going to sponsor the event. That's the idea.
Yes.
And what this movie is about, like I mentioned earlier, is how is Marty going to get to Japan because he doesn't have any money. So he's pursuing a number of threads. How can I get my money? And one of the ways that he could potentially get there is through Rockwell,
Rockwell.
because
Yep.
Rockwell will sponsor him, fly him over in his private jet if he does this exhibition match. But Marty is totally offended. I'm not going to throw a match. I'm not going to lose, right? He wants to beat Endo. So he at the beginning of the movie when he first hears this proposal, he refuses it.
He does. And then he pisses off Rockwell, and Rockwell's like, we're done.
And
Um,
I mean, he also says something horrific about Rockwell's son,
yeah, so his
who
son died in the war.
I forget what the quote was. It was shocking though. He makes fun of Rockwell's son who died in World War II.
Yeah, something about like you want to support the Japanese. I don't know.
He's a
But people like
total asshole.
he is. But again, what I'm trying to say was Marty first gave him the idea, right?
Yes,
And then the businessman saw that as an opportunity, and then he changed the idea to kind of benefit him even more. And
right,
then Marty was not pleased with that.
right. So there's this other character I wanted to talk to you about. Uh, he's involved in the scene with Marty when he first meets Rockwell. He's another ping pong player. He's a former world champion. He's a Jewish character.
He's a survivor.
He was in the concentration camps during World War II. He's a survivor, and when we first meet him, he is trying to convince Marty to do sort of a Harlem Globetrotters of ping pong, where they do these exhibition
Yep,
ping pong displays where they do all these trick shots. And and in fact, it's going to be at a halftime show of a Harlem Globetrotters
correct.
uh, game. And Marty says, this is beneath
Beneath me.
me. And at this point, Marty is already flirting with Gwyneth Paltrow. I forget her name. Kay Stone, I think is her name. And
More than flirting.
he more than flirting. He has paid for her meal with her husband, and Rockwell, like when the waiter comes over and says, your meal has been taken care of, he's like, who the fuck is this kid? And
Yeah,
he comes over, he confronts them, and this is how the whole this is how they're introduced. This is where the whole business relationship begins, and you learn this backstory about this
survivor.
survivor who I forget his name, but he was in a concentration camp, and one of the Nazis like recognized him, knew him as a champion ping pong player, and gave him favorable treatment. And
But he's also good like diffusing bombs or something, right? Like,
well, he let him like go outside of the concentration
yeah,
camp and like learn how to defuse bombs.
yep.
And when he's doing this, he
He
sees
sees a beehive.
he sees a beehive, and he like lights a match and gets rid of all the honeybees, and then he covers himself in
Yes,
honey and brings it back surreptitiously into the concentration camp, and allows all of the prisoners to lick the honey off of him because they're malnourished, they're starving. It's a very bizarre scene,
very bizarre.
but it's
Yes,
also a very powerful scene.
it is.
I would wager he is certainly one of the only likable characters, one of the only good people in the entire movie. There might be a few others, but yeah, I mean, there's not most of the people are terrible people in this movie.
Yeah, that's not a scene I expected to see. It definitely stood out. The whole
Yes.
licking of the honey, watching with your family is it's kind of interesting. And another scene like that as well. The first thing that, like, one of the first things that happens in the movie, his love interest in the movie as well, besides Gwyneth Paltrow, like when she visits him at the shoe store, they start having sex, and then they do kind of like a James Bond like music intro type of thing, like the pre-credits, right? Whatever it's
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
But it basically shows Marty getting this girl pregnant, and then you see like the sperm, like pregnating her eggs, basically.
She's married, by the way.
Yeah, she's
Right. So
married.
you see, he sleeps with two married women in the movie. It
Yes,
just shows you what kind of guy Marty Supreme is.
but that was another fantastic scene because again, I was not expecting to see sperm in their journey and all that stuff. But it was cool the way they show like the egg, but then in the end, it becomes like the ping pong ball.
Yes. You know what's so funny? I was just at my parents' before we recorded, and I saw the movie with my parents. And we were talking about the movie. I thought my parents were gonna hate the movie. Like I didn't like after the movie ended, I said to my mom, "You hated this, didn't you?" She said, "No, I didn't hate it. They didn't love it, but I was surprised she said she didn't hate it." And because I think the movie's just like interesting. Like
Yeah,
even if the movie is uncomfortable, the movie it's just well made.
it's a roller coaster too,
It's
right?
fun. It's funny. It's a roller coaster. It's interesting. But in any event, she says to me, I forget why she said this to me. She says to me, I'm not 100% sure that baby is Marty's baby.
But it was
And, and I'm like, just the scene that you talked about,
yeah.
it's 100% clear that the baby is Marty's baby.
And I was kind of happy they did that because
Yes,
they didn't want you guessing the whole time if she was pregnant by him. They set the stone.
right. So it might not be clear to the characters, at least
Correct.
100%, but to us, the
Yes, the
audience,
viewer.
it
Yep.
is 100% clear.
Marty is the father. So, Mike, with this film, it does a really good job of like having a really diverse set of characters. It makes sense. It's 1950s New York, and we've discussed some of those characters. But any other characters that really stood out to you?
Well, there's a lot of characters that stood out to me. He has this friend who is the son of this business guy. He's a 30-year-old guy who lives with his parents, and he proposes this business idea of selling orange ping pong balls. And this guy, he takes advantage of Marty and Rachel take advantage of over the course of the movie. There is Penn the magician, plays this homeowner who
Wait. You said Penn.
Penn Do you know who Penn is?
Yeah, is it like the magician comedian?
Penn and Teller.
Yeah. He
So
was in this movie?
do you remember the guy who owns the house, who has the dog in the house?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And
Yep.
he's very trigger happy. He is ready to point his gun and shoot at people.
I know who you're talking about, but that was Penn.
That's Penn, yes.
Holy shit.
So he's a very memorable character.
Did you
Uh,
know that? You knew he was in the movie?
I did look at the cast ahead of time, and I knew he was in the movie. And when I first saw the character, I didn't realize it was him. But then the second time I saw him, it clicked.
Oh, wow. I got to rewatch that. I missed that one completely.
Fran Drescher plays
Yep.
Marty's mom.
Yep. You know what? So I knew she was going to be in the movie, but she didn't have a huge role, right? I mean,
No, it's a very minor role.
yeah. I mean, I expected more, but yeah, no. I mean, she fit the role well.
Yeah,
No complaints.
he's friends with this cab driver who's also a ping pong player, and they run hustles. They go to some,
Yep.
you
They
know,
go to Jersey.
they go to Jersey. They play ping pong. It reminded me of Rounders, the movie with
Yes.
Matt Damon.
Great movie.
They go and pretend that they don't know what they're doing, and they beat all these guys. Uh, and they they take a lot of money from them. And later on, these guys catch up to them at a gas station, and
So before we even talk about that, you had mentioned that there's a lot of not trends, threads for ways for him to make the money to go to Japan.
yeah. I think there's
And
four main ones that I at least counted.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to do the math in my head, but yeah, I think you're right. But one of them was basically he had to go hustle with his friend that you're talking about, and they go to Jersey, they win a lot of money, and then like you were saying before I interrupted you, after they won the money, those guys catch up to them.
Right. And they get in a fight, and I guess they steal some of the money back or all the money back.
I forget what stood out for my in that scene was basically, and what really hurt me was so going back, they all this craziness happens, and then Marty ends up having a dog. He takes someone's dog.
Yeah, that's the other character I was going to mention. There's this old man who has a dog.
Yeah, so all this is coming together. But this old man has a dog. Marty goes through a ceiling, lands on him in a tub. Really crazy scene. But this guy basically says, "You need to get my dog to the hospital, to the vet. I'll pay you money."
Yeah.
And then before instead of doing that, they go to Jersey. So
Yes.
that's why I want to interrupt you. They go to Jersey, but when they fight these people that they hustled, um, this explosion happens at a gas station, and the dog runs out. And then they lose the dog, and
Right.
it was very disturbing to me. I was like, I was taken back because obviously I have a cat. In perfect timing, he just showed up and started meowing. But like I'm a big pet lover, so I was like, holy shit! Like that kind of hurt. Like knowing that the dog was gone at that point. I thought it was gone for good.
Right. So there, like you mentioned, there are a few leads that Marty has to
Yes.
make money. There's the Rockwell guy, character, Kevin O'Leary, rich guy,
Yep.
very obvious potential there to get money. Also, his wife, Gwyneth Paltrow, who he's sleeping with,
Yep.
maybe he can get some money from her. Then there's the hustling that he does at the ping pong joints in Jersey. Then there's also this old man with the dog. He goes to this hotel, uh, which I was actually going to bring it back to Rachel. Rachel is the married girl that he impregnates in the beginning of the movie. He's taking to her hotel in the middle of the movie because she comes to him and tells him, I told my husband what happened
He
and
beat me.
he beat me up and she has a black eye, right? So, I had said that he is an asshole, he's a douchebag, which he is, but it made when I rethought about this scene, it reminded me this is one of the few good things he does in the movie. When she comes to him, he protects her, he takes care of her. So he takes her to this hotel, gets a room, and the guy running the hotel's like, we don't really have any rooms. I can give you this room for $2.50, but you can't use the bath. And Marty, like, he smells like shit. Do you remember why he smelled terrible?
Because he went in the dumpster that the
Oh, he was
Chinese.
hiding from some cops in a
Yeah.
dumpster.
But I don't think he was taking her there. I think he just he needed a place to stay
Yeah,
because
there's
he
a lot
ran.
of crazy
Yeah,
shit that goes. It's hard to keep track of
nonstop.
everything.
And that's one of my complaints about this movie. It just
Okay, all right, fair enough. But so he goes up to his room, he gets in the bath, and which he was told not to do. But I mean, it doesn't matter because what happens is just absolutely insane. There were two parts of this movie where I audibly, I shouted out in the movie theater. It was kind of embarrassing. This was one of them. He gets in the bath falls through the floor
yep, like I was saying.
into the room below him where this old man is bathing his dog. It falls onto them. It breaks the man's arm. I actually covered my eyes. I don't know how the fuck the dog survived. I thought the dog got fucking crushed by this tub. It was absolutely
Yeah,
insane.
I don't know how the dog survived. I don't know how the
It
guy's
was
arm survived.
absolutely insane. But anyway,
Insanity.
the old man tells Marty, like, you got to take my dog to the vet. And Marty is like looking through the guy's bag and
He
realizes
sees
the guy
money.
is rich. He has got a ton of cash. So this
Yep.
is the third thread. This is the other, well, actually the fourth thread, the other potential way he can get money. So he basically extorts this guy and gets him to agree to pay him a lot of money to take care of the dog. But he
But
doesn't
then
do it.
no, and that's because he's an asshole, right? Marty's really an asshole.
He's a total asshole. He has the dog in the back of their car. He goes to Jersey and they play ping pong. They rip off all these guys and the guys catch up to him at this gas station. Marty sprays them with gasoline,
Gasoline.
which of course ends up igniting on fire. And I assume everyone survived.
Yeah, it's not clear.
It's not clear. And the dog runs away.
Yep, which I said earlier, I was like heartbroken. I didn't think we were going to see the dog again, and then it
No,
turns out I was wrong.
he's in Pendulette's house. This
So I didn't
crazy,
realize that.
this
Yeah.
crazy guy kidnaps the dog.
Oh,
So Marty comes back with Rachel, the girl that he impregnated, and back to Jersey, and they go. He goes to the house because someone says like, "This is the closest house to the gas station. You should check this house." He looks in the window.
he breaks in.
He sees the dog. He breaks in, and then Pendulette shows up.
Yep, and he's
And
an asshole.
he's a
Like,
total asshole. He immediately like gets his gun and starts
yep.
shooting them, and they escape. And oh my God. I mean, it was totally insane.
I feel like we could take 2 hours talking about this movie, right? There's so many insane stuff that happens. But the common theme is like he's always trying to take advantage of everyone. Even when people are trying to help him, he's trying to one up them, it seems,
Right.
for his
So
benefit.
the one just exactly in that vein, the one more thing I wanted to mention was the last thing, the last one of the last things. He goes back to Gwyneth Paltrow. He sleeps with her again. He robs her. He steals her necklace while
Yes.
they're having sex in the shower. And he tries to pawn it. And the person at the pawn store tells him this is costume jewelry. It's not worth
Yep.
anything. So he goes back to her. He goes back to her and returns the necklace and pretends that
He doesn't know.
he feels bad about
Yep.
robbing her and I made a mistake and he casually mentions that he's broke and he needs money.
He's a con man.
He is a con man. One of the reviews I saw for this movie was this movie is Saul Goodman if he became a ping pong player instead of becoming a lawyer. That's what this movie is. So, and she sees right through him, but
Yep.
she's attracted to him. She's still sympathetic to him, and she hates her husband too. and she tells him that, for however
Every
many,
anniversary,
every
like
anniversary, 20 plus
yeah,
anniversaries,
yep,
he gives her this
a
diamond
necklace.
necklace, and I'll give you one of them.
Yeah, so she gives him the necklace. Again, he's at the finish line. He's got the necklace, and then he
Right.
pushes it to the next level,
Then they
right?
start having sex in Central Park,
Apart. He
and the
starts.
police the police see them and are going to arrest them, and they have to bribe the police with the necklace, so he doesn't get the necklace.
He doesn't get the necklace. So then she's like, he begs her, "Can you go back and give me another necklace? You have like 25 of these." Um, but the problem is like her house
Oh,
is
and then
full.
that brings us to another part of the movie. There are so many memorable scenes in this movie.
I know that's what I'm saying. We can literally talk about this for 2 hours straight,
I do
right?
want to. Oh, I have to mention the scene. This scene, he sneaks into the party,
Trying
and
to find her
Kay is crying
because she
for
got a
the
bad review
bad review,
from her
and
play.
then obviously her husband is there, and he goes up and makes one final play to get him to agree to this
He basically
exhibition.
apologizes. He's like, "I'll do whatever it takes."
Yeah, and Mr. Wonderful says, "Go into my office and get the paddle."
Yep, the Japanese paddle
And Mr. Wonderful tells him to pull down his pants
in front of people.
in front of people, a whole group of people, and he spanks him
He does
really hard.
really hard, a couple of times. He's like, "This is for my son. This
This
is
is
for
for
me."
me. I thought he was going to say, "This is for my wife."
But yeah, but
He
he
never
doesn't.
figured out about that. He never figured
And
out
you know what?
that.
That kind of surprises me. Like we'll talk about the conclusion in a second, but I don't think at any point Marty says he's sleeping with her. That kind of surprises me, right? Kind of
He never
shocking.
did. He never. I was waiting for that line. I was
Yeah, I was
waiting for him to
waiting for
say,
it too.
I'm fucking your wife. I was waiting
Even
for it the
even
whole.
when Rockwell fucks him in the end, he still doesn't say it.
Right.
So it kind of shows a little bit of decency, even though Marty doesn't have a lot of decency. Maybe he didn't want to like ruin this woman who tried to help him. I think that was it really. I think he didn't want to fuck
Maybe.
over Gwyneth Paltrow's character.
Maybe. I almost think from Marty's perspective, it's almost better that he's doing it and he doesn't know. The guy doesn't know. It's better not to tell him.
Maybe we'll disagree there. But I could see your perspective.
Hmm. So I guess we'll just fast forward a little bit. Rockwell, after he spanks him,
Takes him to Japan.
Rockwell says, "I'll take you to Japan, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to spank you first." So he actually, goes through with that. They get to Japan.
And before that, did you know they had a stunt double first? They had fake rackets, not tennis rackets, ping pong paddles. But Timothy Chalamet's like, no, let's do this for real. So he really got spanked.
I did not know that.
He
I
really
did not
dropped
know.
his trousers, and he hit him as hard as he could a couple of times.
So Mr. Wonderful spanked Timothy
Yep,
Chalamet. That's
he
hilarious.
sure did.
That's so funny. Oh man. So they get to Japan, and another character we didn't mention was the whole president of this ping pong league, who Marty is a total asshole to in the beginning of the
Yep.
movie. He confronts him again and says like, "I'm here. I've got my money." And the guy's like, he's like an Indian guy, I guess. I don't
Yes.
know. And the guy's like, essentially, he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? The tournament is in a few days. We have the bracket set already.
You're not
You,
in the tournament.
you're not in the tournament." And
So
Marty,
that was the big twist. So at the end of the day,
right,
even though he makes it there and does all these crazy things to get,
right,
he doesn't even get to participate in the tournament.
right. And at that point, it clicked for me. I instantly knew where the movie was going to go, which is great. That's how a movie, if the director is doing a good job with the storytelling, uh, it should. That's how it should work. It should be
Yep.
logical. And I knew at that point, okay, we're not going to get Marty in the tournament, but we need a finale. So I figured what's going to happen is at this exhibition match,
So they have the expedition. Marty loses like planned.
right? And then he has to kiss a pig.
Yes. So Mr. Wonderful, I keep saying wonderful, basically wanted to screw him even more, organize this whole thing where he has to kiss a pig. And at that point, Marty's like, fuck this, I'm not doing this. And basically tells everyone this is fake, this is an exhibition, I was supposed to lose. And then basically he tells Endo, he's like, let's play for real, let's play for real. And he gets the crowd into it, like the American soldiers are there, the Japanese people are watching, and basically he convinces them to do a rematch against Endo.
Right.
And then
And
Marty somehow wins.
he, of course, wins.
He wins.
the rematch. And in the middle of this is when Mr. Wonderful delivers his line about being a vampire
Vampire,
born in 1601, which apparently some people actually think he is a vampire.
and
I'm not.
that was a line he actually gave to the Safdie.
Well, I
So
could see him saying something like that on Shark Tank. Like that doesn't surprise me actually.
So yeah, that was a line that he came up with, which is cool. Also, do you remember in the beginning of the movie when he comes out in the bathroom shaving and Gwyneth Paltrow's talking to Marty on the phone in the hotel? And he's like, "Did you use my shaver?" Like, he's complaining to his wife that he
Yeah,
can't shave. So
right.
originally, when he was reading the script, his wife, his real wife, overheard him reading the script, and it was Q-tips. So Gwyneth Paltrow was using Q-tips, and he's like, "Did you steal my Q-tips?" And then Mr. Wonderful's wife was like, "No, no, no, no. Wives don't take Q-tips. They take shavers, and they use
Mm,
it on their legs. And then
mm.
basically the men can't shave anymore because the blades are like not good." Um,
Oh,
so he gave them that idea as
oh,
well.
that's cool.
Yep.
Where you hear where'd you hear about all this? It seems like you have like listened to some director's
TikTok. Yeah.
TikTok. Okay.
TikTok. This movie did a really good job of promoting it,
Yeah,
right?
I missed all of it. So I like I said, I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised. But yeah, I guess you
Like the orange was a big theme. Like you talk about the orange ping pongs, and that was a
yes.
scene that really the imagery of that with his like so-called best friend who finally realizes Marty's a scumbag, takes all the ping pong balls that because basically Marty wanted to come up with an idea where instead of using white ping pong balls, it'll be orange. So he convinces his friend to use his dad's money to kind of create these balls.
Yeah.
But eventually the friend has enough. He throws all the balls out of the apartment or the home wherever they're living, and
Yeah.
the imagery of all the orange balls flying out the window, I thought that was pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah, and like you and I both said, we both like ping pong. I mean, casually, like
Yeah,
it's a fun game. I don't know a ton about competitive ping pong, but I've played with orange balls before. It seems like that it's either when you buy ping pong balls, they're either white or orange,
yep.
right? I don't know if I've ever seen any other colors.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot
A
about the
lot,
movies in the spoilers section. There's more we could talk about.
for sure.
I don't think we need to. I think we've beaten a dead horse here. What do you say we get on to the
Let's do it.
verdict?
Let's give the verdict. I'll go first. So I truly love this movie. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of my favorite movies of the year. As I mentioned before, I don't rewatch movies, but I think I may want to rewatch this one to see if it really stands the test of time. And I think in Letterboxd you can't do this. I don't want to give it a five. I'd want to rewatch it again. Like I was saying, kind of like the all the chaos that happens throughout the movie was a little too much. They kind of outdid themselves. Like at some point, like you can't have all this chaos, right? Someone's life can't have all these crazy events back to back to back to back to back. So because of that, I'll take a score off. So I'd like to give it 4.75, which you can't, I think, in
Mm.
Letterboxd. So 4.5. Truly love to see it.
I hate to do this because we have a friend who has told us that he loves it when we disagree. It makes for interesting conversation, which obviously it does. I 100% agree with you. I truly love to see this movie. I would also give this a 4.5, 4.5 stars. Uh, it's hard to get five. Like
It
five
is
is extremely rare. This movie is extremely good, though. Timothy Chalamet is just
phenomenal.
a phenomenal actor. The direction in this movie is so good. The supporting cast is so good. The unique
The score,
casting. That was one thing we didn't even really touch on. The
I
score
know.
in this movie is so good. I love the use of licensed music. The beginning with Forever Young, the
Yep.
end with Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. What a perfect use of that song. It's very interesting. It's a lot of 80s vibes to the soundtrack, even though the movie takes place in the 50s, but for some reason it just works. It's just the movie, it is a comedy. That is maybe one thing it's hard to convey. The movie's hilarious.
It is.
I was laughing out loud. I mean, it's a black comedy, right?
It is. Yep.
It's there's
It's
so
a
many
dramedy.
it's a dramedy. There's so many absurd things that happen in this movie. Uh,
People have to see this movie, right?
you have to see it. I think I have heard that the movie is divisive. Like I said, I thought my parents were going to hate this movie because they always talk to me about like we saw the show that you recommended, but the characters are just so unlikable, so we can't
Mm.
watch it, like Succession. So I thought they were going to hate it, and I didn't know that the movie was going to be like that ahead of time. But once I was watching the movie, I thought for sure they were going to hate it, and they didn't hate it. I could see people not liking this movie, and I know for a fact some people don't like this movie. But I think you need to see it to see for yourself,
You got to
right?
see this movie.
You got to
Eh,
see it.
And we didn't even talk about the end. I don't know if we should. I don't want to spoil it, right? I mean, there's no. I mean, even though we did a spoiler
Well,
section,
we should talk about it. Actually, there's more to say. We could talk about it. We could keep it in the verdict section. Um,
but basically, even though he beats Endo,
right,
he's disappointed that he can't compete in a real tournament, but he feels a set of he feels that he succeeded. Right, his main mission was to beat Endo,
right.
so he does that. But really, before the whole tournament happens, his girlfriend, well, I mean, wasn't really his girlfriend. I guess you could say his girlfriend or not. The person he gets pregnant
His
gets
baby
shot.
mama
The baby mama gets shot when they're trying to get the dog back
by Penn Jillette.
by Penn Jillette. So she gets shot. They take her. He takes her to the emergency room right before he's supposed to fly out to Japan, and then she eventually has the baby. So she
Yeah,
survives, has the baby, and really the end of the movie after winning this match with Endo is he needs to get back to America. He
right.
wants to get back to America, and he wants to be a father to I don't know if it was a daughter or son, but he wants to be there for the girl and the kid.
I'm really glad that you mentioned this because it's very important. I have seen people talking about the ending of this movie as it's like a redemption arc, like Marty is being redeemed. I'm curious how you interpret the ending.
I don't know if he's being redeemed. I think finally he realizes his actions have consequences. And then I think I don't know if his mother was really his mother. I think he said he was adopted or something.
Okay. Well,
Um,
he did say that, but I thought he was lying.
Maybe
But
he
it,
was,
yeah, he's
but
not
his father wasn't around.
right. Mm.
And I think he finally realizes like he doesn't want to be that same person to that newborn kid. And he realizes like I want to be there for this kid, and I want to be there for her.
So I think that's a plausible interpretation. I think maybe that's what he was feeling in the moment, and that's what he did. At the end, he shows up to the hospital for the mother of his child and for his baby. He is such a terrible person in this movie. He's such a schizo person in this movie. Like the one at the end, like there's no way you can interpret that as redemption.
Yeah, I don't think it's redemption.
He's still the same person he is the whole movie. He does one good thing at the end. Like I don't think that he's changed.
It's a path toward redemption.
Maybe,
Yeah,
but
maybe.
maybe it's just a blip, right? And then I think he's, who knows what's going to happen to him, but I think it's just going to be more crazy. I think his life is going to be chaotic for the rest. And that's actually goes back to the Kevin O'Leary quote. I've been alive since 1601. I've seen many people like you, right?
Yep,
I think that's actually what he was saying, right?
could be.
And the one other question I wanted to ask you, Sid, about this movie is what do you think was the point of this movie? What do you think was the theme or the message of this movie?
So I think it's something you just got to quit and see what's around you in life and make those things important.
Okay.
Because I mean, he could have really pushed again to be in that tournament, right? He could have just kept pushing, like I just beat Endo. Do you guys think I should not be in this tournament? How could you not have me there? Like I got to be in there. I beat the champion. Like the old Marty would have done that. I feel like, but I think that was the point. Like sometimes you just take a step back and just stop escalating things and just enjoy what's around you. Live for the
Okay.
moment. That's the way I interpreted it. What about
All
you?
right. I have a different interpretation of the movie, slightly. I mean, I think the movie is about ambition and how there are certain people who are so ambitious that there's no stopping them. They will do whatever it takes to succeed. And there's no line that they won't cross. And the ending of the movie, it's a nice ending, but that doesn't really change. It doesn't change anything for me in
No, but
that
it looked like
regard.
he was kind of impacted a little by that
He
baby,
well,
right?
he well, I mean that's Timmy Chalamet, right? He's such a good
Yeah,
actor. He's a con man.
yeah,
I don't think he's faking it, but
no.
I'm not convinced that he's a changed man at the end of that movie.
And they say people can't change, right? That's a common thing that they say. It's very
Right.
difficult for people to change.
Which I don't agree with. I think people can change.
But I think that's how Safdie wanted to end the movie.
Yeah.
He didn't want to give a concrete answer. He
Hmm.
just wanted to say, there's some hope. Maybe he could change. Maybe the baby's the reason, or maybe he'll just continue doing all this craziness.
Which is great. I think, that's part of the reason it's such a good movie.
You needed that. You couldn't have him make himself get entered into the tournament and then winning the tournament. Like that wouldn't have had the same impact.
Right. No, I thought it was a great ending.
Yep.
So we both truly love to see it.
Truly. So that's a wrap. That's a wrap in 2025.
Yes.
Our next episode, we're going to talk about that wrap. We're going to recap what happened in movies in 2025. We'll talk about our favorites, our disappointments, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be going over our top 5 favorite movies of the year and some other categories as well. You have seen a lot more movies than me this year.
I have a
That
list.
that said, I've seen a decent amount. I've seen a good amount. This is the most amount of movies I've seen in theaters in quite a while. I've also seen several movies that came out this year on streaming. There's one more movie I'm going to watch I haven't told you about.
The Ben Affleck.
No, it's a documentary. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want to watch it before our next episode. And I have a feeling it might make my list, but we'll see. So yeah, we're gonna go over our favorite movies for 2025. Yeah, looking forward to
We'll
it.
do a little recap as well.
Yeah.
Good
So
stuff, Mike. Thanks for joining, everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thanks for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.